Well, with on brand with collegiate athletes, it's March Madness is all that. It's here. I'm excited for it. And but there COVID, no fans, and so the money's cut different. The sports betting is here. Um, but beyond that, we got a real good glimpse because they've had to do sort of like makeshift workout situations, travel plans and itineraries, food, catering, all the services that are offered to the men. We're getting a real good glimpse in the disparity between women's sports and men's sports, G.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that weight room shit was nuts. Bro, they gave their ass a rack, bro. It's like, hey, y'all do what y'all need to do.
That was the star player from Oregon that did that, right? What's her name?
She don't even go to Oregon no more. That's the one that got drafted by the New York Liberty. She just came back and was like, "Oh, y'all wild for this.
Peep this."
Yeah.
And she was TikToking the men's workout room, their facility, and then was like, "Yo, this is what we got." It was like a couple dumbbells versus them niggas had a full makeshift complex, and then the excuse that they gave the women, like the statement that the NCAA pulled out was like, "Yo, it's just not enough space." She's like, "Oh, by the way, this is the space that they was talking about. There was a big ass empty section of the gym that just wasn't being used." And it's like, bro, come on, y'all gotta stop. It's okay. It's okay to say that the revenue disparity is what it is, but they don't want to acknowledge that it's a revenue driven entity, the NCAA that is.
Because it opened up a whole nother can of worms.
A whole nother can of worms.
That's why I said that this is an important time for the student athlete with all the information that everyone has and all the ears and eyes that you get.
And then these sick fucks identify as a nonprofit, so there's no taxes for the NCAA and the revenue that they generate.
Bro,
this is crazy.
Getting paid out the ass. But this is a perfect time for a protest, man. Perfect time for a protest because it's two important causes taking place at the exact same time that can work for each other.
So that's for current athletes, for future incoming collegiate athletes, and the alumni. Band together, start fucking with this bread so we can get some shit done. I would love to see. We were talking about it last night, watching trying to figure out how many HBCUs get an automatic bid. And how many? I believe. Oh fuck! Who made it? And one. Texas Southern is in it. Norfolk State lost last night, but they were in it. And somebody else. But how do we get it to where the HBCUs? It's more than two of them in the whole tournament. How many of the ESPN 100 incoming freshmen would have to go to HBCUs to shift the power dynamic, which ultimately shifts the revenue and how the TV contracts are played out, and then ultimately dictates how many automatic bids some of the HBU conferences get. Now we're making it a black and white thing. We getting away from the women, but it all feels connected to me personally, G.
Yeah, it depends on how much money the HBCUs are going to be given to the athlete. Because like that's
just cut to this shit.
Yeah, that's the battle you about to come across. How much money can you give to the athlete, bro? Like that's the only thing that's going to make any of these players move. If you're talking about the top, whatever number of the top number, the best option for them right now is what they just presented this year with the G League team that gets to play over in Walnut Creek, play 12 games and make $500,000, and never leave Walnut Creek. Like all the teams come to you, so like it's a bubble that they've created for talent, and that's like the best option for the top players. So what can you match that with? So the college would have to figure out a way to let athletes get paid by their likeness. It'd be preferable if you give them a piece of the pie, but of course that's never going to happen because the amateurism thing is always going to win out. Mm-hmm. But I was saying like the protest needs to be for, while they're protesting the equity part for the men, which the men are driving this is just facts. the men's sports are driving all of the funds that go into all the other sports. So that'll be men football and men basketball are driving all the other sports on the site. Like, I don't care what anybody else says about things that y'all doing. It's appreciated. All the athletes band together. But as far as like the revenue share, is coming from men's basketball, men's football. But while they're fighting the equity game, because that's where they're at, they're not on the equality game. They're on the equity game. The women can attach to the equality game. So they could only ban, unfortunately, with men deciding to not perform. Yeah. That's the only time that they can do that, because if the women stop performing, they have it's a unfortunate thing, but there's a possibility of there not being a woman's side. Yeah. You know, there's just not enough revenue share going in over there. Yeah. But you can attach it to an equity game that the men are doing, and get some of the things that you're looking for. Yeah. So that's like the only play here. So it's not personal, and it's not like meant to be a big old thing about men and women and sexism and stuff like that. It's the truth when it comes to money. You have to attach to the bigger problem.
Yeah. No, that's well said, and I'm curious to what it would take to organize something like that. I know when I was in school, our women's team was kicking ass. Mm-hmm. I mean, a couple of players made All-American. A handful of them made All-Conference. That's for damn sure. They went to the tourney every year. And we didn't get lit till my last year. And it was like, hey, basketball is lit again. And it was like, no. The women been kicking ass the whole time I've been here. And now we finally got our shit together. Now the town is activated. Mm-hmm. You know, it was it always upset me in that regard. But the money portion of it always made sense, and what it would take for the men to stand in solidarity alongside the women and go, yo, fam, from basic facility needs to accommodations to you name it, what the fuck is going on? And how does this money break down? And then if you don't even make it just a men and women's basketball thing, between football, basketball, predominantly driven by the black athletes, how the rest of this money, in the name of the colleges, is paying for these other athletic programs. It ain't just if the women stopped in protest, they wouldn't be the only ones that would be shut down. G. Baseball probably wouldn't be no baseball season.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Wouldn't be no volleyball season. Wouldn't be none of that shit if men's hoop and football just was like, fuck it, we not doing nothing until y'all take care of the women.
That's it.
We're not doing shit.
That's it. So when people get all angry about free scholarships and you should be happy with the fact that you
complaining and you getting a free education,
you ain't seen the books. Yeah. You ain't seen the books, and you also don't realize that the names of the people that are in the executive positions at NCAA is never presented. Never. We know who they are, but they're never in the forefront. Even with this women's thing, it was the VP of the women's side that spoke up. Like, the head of the NCAA
ain't said a word.
Had to pull teeth for him to put a statement talking about, oh yeah, that's a messed up situation and they should do something about that. My nigga, you oversee the whole thing.
They should do something.
Yeah, there go the they. Exactly. I feel like they should do something about that.
No, I'm fascinated to see what happens after a season with COVID-19, a school year without it. What the revenue. Can we open those books like Forbes? Hey, help us out. Y'all put Ye's shit out there.
Yeah, give NCAA Forbes.
Y'all audited Ye's books in a matter of seconds. Open these fucking NCAA books and let us know what's going on for real. What did these TV contracts do? How much is we watching? Is this NBC or CBS right now? CBS.
Yeah, CBS.
Yeah, what is CBS paying to have March Madness right now? What are the ratings right now? I want to know all that shit. Look at me trying to act like I know what I'm talking about. Oh, you don't know.
Yeah, man. Nah, you was on to something.